Welcome, guys, to We Don't Know Ball, the actual podcast, because Retro's kind of a bitch. With the main host and his co-host, Justin, we'll be talking about basketball on this podcast, and we actually can have some good conversations without Retro trying to push some bullshit ass narratives about the fraud ass Chicago Bulls. Justin, how are you doing, bro?
I'm all right. It's 2026. Retro has a breakfast date with some dudes. I'm not judging, but that's why he said he couldn't be here tonight to record. So, just gonna keep it transparent with the fans. More power to Retro. Yeah, we don't have to talk about the Bulls being 12 and 21 in their last 33 games since 36-0. We don't have to talk about that. We really don't have to talk about it. They suck. Josh Giddey sucks. Their whole team sucks. The front office sucks. They haven't been relevant since Derrick Rose was there. Yeah, we just it's a poverty franchise that we just don't have to talk about. It's pretty great.
Yeah, thank God we don't have to talk about how Trae Jones is better than Josh Giddey. But I've been saying that for a while. But shout out to him tonight. Even though they lost against Minnesota. But the let's rip the Band-Aid off really quick because we were talking about this last week. And it actually happened. I called it. Trae Young. Trae Young got traded from Atlanta to arguably, I know, Justin, in your opinion, a worse situation.
Well,
Go ahead.
I wouldn't call it a worse situation. I mean, I'd say it's the same situation because neither team is going anywhere this year. It doesn't really matter. Sorry. If the Wizards are smart, they don't play him at all this year for the simple fact that they'll retain their pick.
Yep.
So, I mean, it could be a good situation. It depends what that 8 pick ends up as. It depends if they translate that pick. I think if they were smart, I think they'd take that pick and trade up and go get one of the big 3 names out of college basketball and then really make some noise and see what happens. But, blessings on blessings to Trae Young. It seems like he really wanted this. Boy, do I not know why, but he wanted this, and he got it. And we are about to see some of just... I think we're going to be in for a really, really weird trade deadline. We are going to see some names on the move that don't make sense. We are going to see some names on the move that have been overdue. And we're going to see some names on the move that were previously on the move. So... it's going to be I'm excited for this next month. I really am.
Yeah. With my thoughts on Trae Young, I was calling him to go to either Washington or Dallas. The Washington thing is so interesting because it's obviously a long-term thing with their young core there with Sarr, with Trae, and I do agree that if depending on where they land, right, because they have the Knicks pick going forward, do they get one of the wings, Boozer, DeBonza, Caleb Love, to fit in with this offensive system going forward? And again, just to reiterate, I hate Trae Young. I don't think he's a number 1 anywhere. I don't think he's really a number 2 anywhere. But his value is making a poor situation look okay. And this is a good situation for him, for a franchise that is dying for a superstar and are willing to overpay for Trae Young. And I'm going to be laughing at them because it's going to be just play-in after play-in after play-in.
If it's even that.
Yeah, if it's even that. And for the future, you can basically get Sarr and have the maximum offensive value that he can get. Trae Johnson, we just don't know what he'll be, but he's on an upward trend. And if you get one of the wings, I mean, again, offensively, they'll look great. But on the other side, Sarr's the only plus defensive guy that you have right now. Again, it's a lot of projection on Trae Johnson. I think he'll be a good 2-way player going forward. But Trae's just virtually unplayable on the defensive side of the court. He's god-awful. And teams are going to still hunt him on defense, specifically in a weaker Eastern Conference. So, like, where we go from here is inevitably going to be another Atlanta situation for the long term. Can they have a little bit better success? Not in the terms of like Eastern Conference Finals, because that's 2021, but could they make some noise? Maybe, but I just don't. This move is for the long term, just to still be an average at best. They could probably be a fifth seed. I just don't see the 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 efforts of what Washington is trying to do, and Trae Young helps you for the short term, but paying him 50 M's to be mediocre is going to be disastrous going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it just, like I said, I think it's you did this trade to get CJ McCollum's contract off your books. I understand that part of it. I really do. But like what you're getting with CJ's money is you're just paying Trae's extension. So like it's another bad contract on the books for a guy who's not I don't understand the appeal to this. I don't get it. I mean, I like Trae Young. I liked Trae Young, I should say. He's just an ineffective, great value Steph Curry with zero upside except for being that. So it's like I don't get this move for a team that's showing signs of progressing in the future to now you're wasting money on a guy who isn't going to help you win. I told you from the jump when Washington was talking about making a move that I think they need a backline veteran presence, not a front court, they don't need a guard. Like, it's just, like I said, this whole thing is just confusing to me. I think when all is said and done, by the time this trade deadline's over, I think Atlanta will have won this trade because I just don't see. Yeah, they gave up Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum for Trae Young, which in 2K on paper, that sounds awesome. Watching games and watching translation, nothing about this makes sense to me. Trae Young's not a needle mover. I need that to be as clear as possible for anyone that just doesn't understand. Trae Young's just not a needle.
What I think the more interesting thing, Justin, for this is not necessarily the trade, but the value of the trade that happened. CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, and no draft picks.
Yeah.
And to move on to the other overrated point guard, Ja Morant. This is going to fuck the trade market because now he has verbally said, I want to go to Miami. Now, cool. That's great. Two things are bad in that situation. One, Miami plays the exact offense that you just bitched about for the past 2 years of not liking, and has basically thrown you out in no man's land because you're just ineffective off ball. You're a ball dominant point guard that needs to make decisions, which is cool. But how the NBA is going, and I've said this again, the wings are going to be able to take over what the point guards do in the future. The second thing is that now that CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert were the value of Trae Young, Miami can give them next to nothing, and Ja can be in Miami. Like, that's how disvaluable Ja Morant is going to be at the trade deadline because of the Trae Young trade.
Yeah, and like I just wanted to look this up just for reference on this. Like, we're seeing a trend. It's really weird. So we go from the 2024 end of season, off season, where we're seeing Mikal Bridges get traded for 5 first-round picks and a player, and four of them are unprotected, and a top 4 pick protected by the Bucks, an unprotected 28 pick swap, and a 25 second rounder. Now we're seeing Trae Young, who, I mean, I don't personally think has the value of a Mikal Bridges, don't get me wrong, but on star power, name power alone, people would say he does. So you're going
Right.
from seeing a role player, two-way 3-and-D guy who demands 5 first-round picks, a pick swap, and a second, along with Bogdan Bogdanovic, and then Trae Young's getting traded for the NBA Players Association leader and a cross-eyed three-point shooter, and nothing else.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive. So what? We're gonna see Ja Morant for Tyler Hero and a second round pick? Like what? I don't get this. This blows my mind that people were just so willy-nilly with first round picks, and I hate to sound like a boomer saying it, but that's really how it felt. Like, it's insane. You saw a 3-and-D role player, a third option, maybe worse on any team in the NBA, go for 5 first round picks and a player and a pick swap and a second rounder. And you're going to see Ja Morant go for, well, at this point, a Cuban sandwich. Like, I don't get it. I'm lost. Trade value means nothing in 2026, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the perfect analysis that I have is the 3-and-D player is way more valuable in today's day and age than the ball dominant point guard. And
Point guardless basketball.
Point guardless basketball, exactly. And that's the exact example you can give is Mikal Bridges going for that while Trae Young's going for, again, a Cuban sandwich. And that's
Cuban
like,
sandwich.
and it's weird because, again, I think Ja is not even going to go for that. I think he's going to go for the bread that goes for on the Cuban sandwich. It's going to be next to nothing.
They're going to trade Memphis. They're going to trade Memphis, and Memphis is going to retain the part of Ja's salary that waives his cover charge to get in Miami nightclubs.
Literally. Like,
I don't.
It's and just to go through like a couple other people because Ja is definitely like you said, the name value, the name guy that is probably going to be on the move. However, Memphis has come out and said if Ja gets moved, Jaren Jackson.
We're blowing it up.
Jaren Jackson is the next domino to fall. And I took a screenshot a little bit earlier today. I wanted to get your thoughts. Boston, heavily interested in Jaren Jackson Jr. And I don't like that at all because even though he's a good rim protector.
Don't lie. You love that. You love that because you're going to see the downfall of the Boston Celtics by giving up 3 core pieces that have made this team better than they ever should have been this season. Don't even start with the no. If Boston goes out, because let's be real, what are we thinking here? Jordan Walsh is probably going to be the key piece in this.
Yep.
I could see Jordan Walsh, Anthony or Peyton Pritchard, one of the two. And
Luka Garza.
Yeah, cool. Go ahead. Please, by all means, go and blow up your chance at still being competitive in the East. By all means, just
that's what I wanted to say is that I think Jaren Jackson's a good rim protector, and even though you said it for me, I would love that. It doesn't fix their.
I like Triple J. We've been over this before. I like Triple J.
I know you do, but what Boston really needs is a rebounder, and Jaren Jackson, I'm sorry, isn't.
He doesn't rebound.
He doesn't rebound. So you're giving more emphasis on Kata to develop into the low post rim protector rebounding guy, and that's immense pressure on a young guy which I don't think. I think he can do, but I think there's just a lot on his plate. I'm afraid that Boston's trying to overwhelm him at a young age. And if Boston gets rid of Walsh, Garza, and even probably Simons in that just to match the contract, the Boston agendas are definitely going to dwindle down because now you don't have your POA. You don't have your secondary rim protector in Luka Garza. Now you don't have your scorer off the bench. So Jaylen Brown's numbers will go up, but they're going to be losing by 20, just like Luka is in LA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a world where this works. I mean, if I'm Boston and I'm gonna go make a move, if I'm gonna blow it up for something like that, you might as well try and be in the Lowry lottery. You know, like if you're gonna send a good package out, you might as well go get Lowry Markkinen, not Triple J. I don't.
Funny
This
enough,
makes sense.
That's a good segue. Hey Justin, you know how we talked about how KD, listens to our podcast on the down low?
Mm-hmm.
I think Danny Ainge is listening to you. Reports have came out that Danny Ainge is not interested in moving Lauri Markkinen and Walker Kessler for the future because he wants to build a core there. And funny enough, I think that's the right move. I really do think so.
So what you're telling me is that, again, you have all these executives getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and I'm just sitting here waiting for a couple $100,000 to be flashed my way, and I'll do the job. I'm telling you, this shit isn't hard. These motherfuckers, they dedicate their entire lives to this. You know how much I hate basketball discourse, and I can sit down for 5 minutes and retool a team better than these guys who have every analytic, every staffing assistant, every this, that, and the other in front of their fucking face, and they can't do the job, and it takes me 5 minutes. You let me sit down with any franchise's information in front of me that they have access to for fucking a day, I could retool an entire franchise. I swear to God, this shit is so easy. I can make the contracts line up. I can send the values away. I can trade what picks I need, and I can keep what picks I hate the front offices. I really do.
I think that the Jazz should make a move, and it's to get rid of Isaiah Collier. And watching a lot of the Jazz games recently, I know that our third co-host was a little bit high on him. Metrically and eye test wise, Collier sucks. I'm sorry. He needs to get. He does not fit that system. Will Hardy does not use him well.
Collier is literally great value Davion Mitchell, and he will never be Davion Mitchell. So
yeah,
I don't need a meathead point guard trying to bully his way into the paint and try to do everything when there is fundamental stuff around him. Again, I know you're not high on the situation, but I'm telling you, Collier, Nurkic, and something else to go get one piece. Just go do it.
I mean, it's fair. And if you get Collier off,
trade slow-mo basketball off your team.
Yeah, and if you get them off, that opens up more minutes for Walter Clayton, and I think he's been providing great value for them.
It opens the whole playbook for these young guys that they have on their bench to actually thrive and do their thing. I mean, once Kessler is 100% and like back to his way, he'll be fine. You have Filipowski that can give him or Lauri breaks. Sensabaugh can flex out to the 4 if needed in the situation. So like there are plenty, and I mean plenty of options with this team. I literally think they just need to go and get a certified bagman to help them carry the load. I think they need. Now, I'm not saying this exact type of player, but I think they need someone like a Jamal Murray to what Jokic is. They need someone like that to complement Lauri. So I think that's what's really the necessity. They are fine at the big man. They are 4 to 5 big men deep that can do the job. As Retro said plenty of times after watching Walter Clayton, yes, he's extremely biased on him. Walter Clayton is a killer. His inefficiencies do show at times. He does take heavily contested jump shots. He also feels like one of those players that I watched, which is completely fucking ass backwards. He doesn't hit wide open shots, but if you close out on him, I can guarantee that ball's going through the bottom of the net. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, Utah is Utah is probably one of the worst teams with the best situations. Like, if that makes sense. Like, they are not far off. Like, Washington wishes they were in the situation Utah is because Utah actually has a bona fide star in Laurie. They think they're going to get that from Trae. They're just not. Utah is probably a combo 2-3 guard away from being a play-in, if not the worst seed in the West. So I don't see this being that big of an issue for this team to make a move. I told you I talked about John Collins being available after the season and maybe trying to run it back with him. I don't think they're going to, but I think John Collins would be a potential good fit for this team because he's athletic, good rim protector, spaces the floor. So like he would be a good option for them. It would also give their guards the ability to free up on the pace and space, along with the PNR situations. Gives Laurie the ability to play more off ball. So it just they're literally 1-2. They're one piece away from being in a playoff guaranteed spot. They're 2 pieces away from being a 3-5 seed in the West, and I think that's kind of insane to say with the West the way it is. But like the Rockets are declining, Minnesota's 50-50 every game. Like they've played so much better recently, but like the roller coaster, they're a roller coaster team. They have a really good week of ups and they have a really good week of downs, and they just don't like plateau at that, hey, we're playing great basketball. So like I said, I think this is a team that could be kind of where like the Suns are and where like the Rockets are. They could be right in that mix for that 5 spot just like they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said it a little bit earlier, the Mr. Contested Shot. Let's talk about Mr. Contested Shot this year, MPJ. In reports being that he is looking to be traded, and the first team to come up every single time when it comes to a spacer of this caliber, Golden State. And Golden State is now willing to give up Kuminga and Pods and a couple picks to go and get MPJ. And
So you're gonna trade a guy you don't use, a guy you don't like for inefficient scoring and a couple picks. Makes sense on their end. Really makes sense on their end. Let's just get rid of a guy we don't fucking play and a guy we don't want to play and a couple picks for a guy we think is going to be the answer. That's crazy. Remember when y'all thought Jimmy Butler was the answer? Remember when he was your best player for the end of the second half of last season? Yes, he was the best player for the second half of the last season. No one can tell me differently. Watch the fucking games. If you don't believe me, go back and watch. Jimmy Butler opened up Steph Curry. Jimmy Butler's gravity opened up Steph Curry to play better. Because you can't tell me that Steph was playing good before he got there. I'll wait.
I agree. And why I'm torn about this MPJ stuff, watching Nets basketball, is that Jose runs these actions, these double stagger screens up top and off ball actions for MPJ, and theoretically, that fits a Warrior system. But now that MPJ wouldn't be the vocal point of said offense, he would be the third option like he was in Denver.
He'd go back to being a scrub.
Yes, and I don't think that's like cool. You go get MPJ, and now you have something for your future. There's something for there to where when Steph leaves, Jimmy leaves, and Draymond leaves. Okay, you have somebody. Cool. Steve Kerr's not going to be there. You know what I mean?
Keep talking. I'm listening. Yes. I promise. You just have to do this.
Steve Kerr's not going to be there. And there's not going to be a head coach that's going to be revolving that offense around MPJ to where he's getting that sufficient enough of jump shooting that you physically want. He's going to be a catch and shoot guy. He's been great catch and shoot this year, but he needs to be more of a higher volume type of guy. I don't think he's going to be able to scale down like he did in Denver, where again in defenses in the playoffs, we know that he doesn't pass the ball, so there's going to be hard closeouts. And I don't want to hear Steph's going to be opening more opportunities for him because he's going to shoot the ball regardless. So, like, hypothetically, everything makes sense, but at the end of the day, that doesn't move the needle. MPJ is not that going to make you guys a certified contender. He's just not going to be. And
See,
I like I just
I
I
have
just don't know.
I have trade package because I like playing this game because I'm me. That's great. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk about one of the other teams that he was hypothetically going to go to, which also happens to have a unhappy superstar who we also thought would end up with Brooklyn anyway because it's in New York. Why don't we just trade the small forward, power forward combo and center from one team to another team and get their guy and the center they signed this year, plus the 26, 28. Do they have the 30? And the 30. And why not send the 32nd as well? Send all four of them. You damn right. I'm talking about sending MPJ and Nick Claxton to Milwaukee for Giannis and Miles Turner and sending them 4 first-round picks with it. Fuck it. Send 7 of them. I don't care. I'll tell you right now. The Nets want that. The Nets want to do things to be in a position to win right now. There you go. You get your Giannis, you get your superstar, you can play your win now basketball like you think you're ready to. You're not. They don't move the needle enough to win you anything. And the Bucks get a rebuild. They get a 27-year-old superstar. I'm air quoting it. Yes, I understand. And you get a young, great rim protector who likes to run the floor. And you have to give up picks. Giannis to Brooklyn. I'm still in on it. MPJ, they do not have the ability to get MPJ to play with those two. I would love for them to have the ability to get those two because that would incline me to actually drive my happy ass 20 minutes down the road to go watch the Bucks play. Because I will not do that right now unless Devin Booker is playing in that building. Which, if anybody wants to, send me some tickets, I can leave my payments in the description because I'd really like to go see Devin Booker womp womp all over the fucking Bucks when they play them in a couple months. So, yeah, but no, I mean, what MPJ's been linked to the Warriors, the Bucks, the Lakers. Ugh, fuck, please don't go to the Lakers. I want to still like you, MPJ. I do. I give you a lot of shit coming out of college because of your back, and I didn't think you'd be able to hold up. You proved me wrong in Denver. You became a very good two-way player in Denver. Shot chucker. And now you're coming into your own because you are a certifiable number one. And whether anybody wants to believe it or not, MPJ is a certifiable number one. He's doing it right in front of your face on one of the worst franchises in basketball. You don't like it, kick rocks. So, yeah, no. Please don't go to the Lakers. Please, for the love of God, don't go to Golden State because you will just be back in arguably a worse situation because you will be with older players who probably don't want you there. You will take the risk of getting punched in the face by Donkey from Shrek. And then you'll be on the road next year after Draymond doesn't like you. So, what a waste of time for you. Please don't do that. Unless they're going to trade Draymond back to the Nets. Unless they're going to send Draymond to the Nets for him, don't do it. If you have to go play on a team with Draymond Green, you got a better shot of winning a fight against the Kangaroo. So
I agree. The next person that I guess got put back into trade considerations.
Oh God, can we please not?
Is Sir Mr. Glass himself, Anthony Day-to-Day Davis. And
I heard the Shanghai Tigers are interested.
With reports from Shams and I guess Anthony Davis himself that he doesn't need surgery and will be reevaluated in 6 weeks, that opens up opportunities for Dallas to go and still trade him, but the value, talking about decrease in value, a lot less. So I talked about this on my page, is that the two places that still make sense and they won't give up as much is still Atlanta and Toronto. And I think out of the two, I think Toronto needs to go and make this move personally. And Why I say that is the contract of Emmanuel Quickly is about to be 30 M's, and they don't want to go and pay that. I understand that Anthony Davis doesn't play, but their identity needs to have a rim protector, and if they're going to be a top seed in the East, you can't be running Colin Murray Boyles and Scotty Barnes at your 5. You need somebody like Anthony Davis
I
to
thought
be
you,
at least
I thought
there.
you were just gonna say you like. I thought you'd just say you like it for Toronto because their team's already fucking good enough, and if AD is only going to play 15 games the rest of the year, might as well use him when the team is healthy to try to
I
make a run.
I still am for that. What is more concerning is Jamal Shed being your point guard if they do end up giving up quickly because he's young. He shows promise, but in a playoff setting, I don't know. But there needs to be, and I want to be very clear when they say this, if they do trade for AD, you cannot get rid of RJ Barrett. I do not care about the discourse about RJ Barrett. This year specifically, RJ Barrett has been completely destroying all these narratives about impact, both offensively and defensively. RJ Barrett is great in that turn.
What other third option in the league do you know gets this much attention? Like, let's be honest.
I mean, if you want me to be nasty, say LeBron.
That doesn't count. That's just.
I know you said it was gonna not count, but if they go get AD and they keep RJ Barrett, I'm pushing so much shit. It's not even funny.
You want me to talk about my franchise? Colin Gillespie has more motion than LeBron in this league right now.
That's disgusting.
You want to play the fucking next game? Colin Gillespie carries more weight. Peyton Pritchard carries more weight. Davion Mitchell carries more weight. Stephon Castle carries more weight. I can just keep going. Amen Thompson carries more weight. Like I'll really just play the third option game with you, and you tell me when to stop when anybody is literally not better than LeBron James, because LeBron is putting up numbers. He's hindering his fucking team. LeBron James. Well, the Lakers' offense might look a little more fluid than when Luka's on the floor. Let's bring up those advanced metrics that I hate so much, and we'll talk about how they go from a plus 22 to a negative 0.6. But nobody's talking about that anyway. Yeah, weird. Fuck. Know what's bad? I really hate a player if I'm gonna bring up advanced metrics. Like, let's really dig deep into the heart of the hate there.
No, I'm with that. I just think for Dallas, this kind of already put them in a bad situation with the Luka trade, obviously. But now that AD is basically hurt and you're still looking to shop him, you're not going to get his equal value. So that's why I'm like, Toronto, you can give up minimal. You can give up quickly and a couple second rounders to go get Anthony Davis at this point, and I think that would be a done deal.
Well, did you see they're also talking about Kyrie potentially being a player on the block?
And that is kind of that's disgusting, because first it was him reportedly coming back right after All-Star break, and then them saying, "Oh, we're going to shop him," and it's like, just tear the season with Dallas, dog. Just it's disgusting. I don't understand.
I really need to know who Nico bet on to win the fucking finals this year.
I agree.
Oh,
I don't know. Speaking of Kyrie to Houston is crazy.
Kyrie to Houston.
Speaking of incompetency, Joe Dumars and the New Orleans Pelicans are reportedly back open up to trading both Herb Jones and Trey Murphy.
Every week.
And it looks like for Herb Jones, I'm pulling this up as we speak. Herb Jones is worth 2 first-round picks and young talent. Trey Murphy is 3 first-round picks and young talent.
Mm.
So
Oh,
now that Joe Dumars, I guess, finally decided to have a fucking brain. The several teams that are involved with at least Herb Jones, we'll start there, is LA, it's Golden State, and I
weird.
believe, funny enough, Sacramento. Don't think he's going to Sacramento, but neither here or there.
Well.
I
After the news I saw today, I mean, maybe it's a part of a 3-team trade.
I was gonna say that with a 3-team trade being in mind, I think that's the only possibility if that happens.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get to it, but this whole like Levine to Milwaukee to preserve Giannis thing, I mean, this 3-team trade could sound way more fucking likely than possible, but like, again, Milwaukee, no,
Yeah,
no. What
exactly.
is the relevancy behind a dunk merchant? Please elaborate.
It's
What is
and
what is the appeal to a dunk contest merchant? I'll wait.
and to be honest with you, I know he hasn't been playing good recently, but I still ride it out with KPJ for the rest of the year because it's gonna be. I'm sure they would have to give up Ryan Rollins and that, so it'd be KPJ, Levine, Giannis, Turner, and what Bobby Portis would get influx in minutes.
Nah, what's the white boy shooter's name?
Oh,
He'll
fucking Kuzma.
no, not Kuzma. The what the fuck is his name? The shooter.
Oh, AJ Green.
AJ Green. Yeah, he'll get the
Yeah.
minutes.
Um. Again, that's a possibility, but like you said, like Levine to the fucking Bucks, like that doesn't move anybody. Um, who wins that trade? Unfortunately, reportedly would probably be Herb to either Golden State or LA, depending on who the 3 teams are. But the other side of that, Trey Murphy, and again, I've been adamant on my team to go and get him.
Yes.
The Warriors have come out and basically said we will sell our soul to go get Trey Murphy and give him Kuminga, give him the plethora of picks. Moses Moody, like they are very open to go and getting Trey Murphy. And what is upsetting is that Trey Murphy would fit that system way more than MPJ does. And I just don't want to see the fucking Warriors good. And Trey Murphy would be the only one that is going to be decisively good in the playoffs for them. Decisive.
What I heard is Trey Murphy to the Jazz. Let's go.
I just don't think if I'm the team who's going to willingly give up 3 first-round picks and young talent to the Pelicans, you better be basically like title contenders for the next several years so that those picks don't become valuable later on.
Don't let OKC hear you.
Exactly. Don't pull the OKC shit.
Don't let OKC hear you.
I'm I guess the last 2 more teams because you touched on it before. Sacramento and basically just red buttoning everything, sell the team, sell the players, move the franchise, that kind of shit. The guys who are basically everybody's on the fucking market. Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. Depending if you want to say Sabonis or not, I don't think Sabonis will be moved because he just hasn't been playing. So I don't know. You said the Bucks again.
He'll end up in LA.
He'll probably end up. Oh, to be honest with you, I think DeMar goes there. To be honest with you,
DeMar's going home.
Home is LA.
No, DeMar's going home.
He's not going back to Toronto.
DeMar's going.
No, he's not going to Toronto.
DeMar's going
Fuck
home to retire.
Oh, retirement home is crazy.
No, he's gonna go be the sixth man for Toronto. Finish the year, kiss the floor, goodbye.
That's gross.
No, tell me I'm wrong. DeMar's got no value left in the NBA. He's got no value left in the NBA.
I would say he probably has the least value out of the four names, but I do think that it's at least they have to try something. You know, at the end of the day, Sacramento's struggling. They need something. Go get picks.
Rui Hachimura, you are a king. That's just... Well, that sounds like what the expendable name is on their side. They don't like Rui. Well, they don't want Rui. They don't...
Well, I do think that he'll be a king, but it won't be for DeMar. I think he'll go for, like, Keon Ellis. I think Keon Ellis might be a king.
I still think it's Sabonis. I think Sabonis and Luka would just... Sabonis and Luka would move mountains for me. I think that would be awesome, and then they'd have that foreign connection that can hold them over until somebody's a free agent in 2 years.
No. I think Sabonis is literally DeAndre Ayton, but white.
Yeah, and they don't want, and LeBron's actively trying to trade DeAndre Ayton. So what matters there?
That's crazy.
The fact that you just said that also makes me want to throw up, because Sabonis is 1 billion times better than DeAndre.
Okay, he gives you rebounding, and he doesn't shoot threes.
He can give you a double-double without scoring. Ayton can't. Ayton can get you rebounds. Ayton has not a playmaking bone in his body. And he's soft as fuck.
We're not going to hype up DHO Merchant, Domantas Sabonis, saying that he's a
We're not going to hype up bum-ass DeAndre Ayton.
I'm not, but I don't think Sabonis is going to give you that.
He's just head and shoulders better than DeAndre Ayton, though. That's just what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm getting across here.
I agree, but in a Lakers system where it's basically let Luka dribble out the fucking clock, Sabonis would give you no value.
Rebounding.
That's why they got Ayton.
I guess the one thing... No, because even Ayton... Yeah. In that system, they're the same player, I guess.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to...
Nick Claxton, you're wanted.
Literally, Nick Claxton. We're moved by Nick Claxton.
We are moved by Nick Claxton. And
I was high on him prior to the season. I got clowned for it, and guess what?
We talked about it. We were saying he was probably the best option for any team to go get that needed a center. We talked about it. We talked about it.
So I guess for trade talks, that at least for the most part, that's mostly it. I guess they put out the fire for Phoenix and the Dylan Brooks shit, and good for Phoenix, good for your franchise to say we're not trading him. He's way too valuable for us. He's been good for us. So shout out to the Phoenix Suns, actually, a step in the right direction into competency. No offense.
Words I thought I would never say. Dylan Brooks is our future.
Yes, that is funny as fuck. For just a couple teams that I wanted to actually talk about for the games that I saw. I wanted to start out in the 6 in Toronto. So this past week they inevitably got blown out by the Sixers most recently. However,
wait, does this mean this is where you're going to push your Eastern Conference Player of the Month agenda?
No. I don't he won Player of the Week. Shout out to Scotty Barnes. However,
he's going to win Player of the Month.
Scotty and this team needs to get a lot more recognition. I don't know what the fuck Darko needs to do more else. I think Scotty needs to be an all-star. I think he should be. I don't think he should win, but he should be in the candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year this year. I think that Scotty Barnes has shown me enough to where I can decisively say he's taking a decisive step forward. The only thing that's going to hinder them, and especially in that Sixers game, a main reason why they lost is that he still can't hit a jump shot. He's still very inconsistent, very streaky jump shooter.
That's
But
what Bi's
that's
for.
that's where, and again, that's where Bi comes in. That's where RJ comes in to help with his deficiencies. But Toronto, again, has slowly creeped up to now basically a game behind the third seed. And if I touched on it before, if they go get Anthony Davis, what say that they don't make an Eastern Conference Finals run? What makes it say that they don't get to the finals with Scotty, with AD, with RJ, with Bi? Like what scares me a lot about that Toronto team is a half court setting where in playoffs everything slows down. But now you just have a whole bunch of guys who are 6'8" and above, who are lanky as hell, and can just hound you. Very smart in a lot of these digs, these double teams, these traps. That is very anticipatory and very smart when it comes to this Toronto Raptors team. Again, I think this should be talked about a lot more, and maybe because it's fucking Canada, we don't talk about them. But Toronto is a very underrated team. Justin, I don't know how you feel about them, but I've just been very high in Toronto this year.
Toronto for me is another roller coaster team. I mean, they've played phenomenally without their center being present for a majority of the past 2 months. Scotty being the 5 was actually a brilliant move by Darko, which is crazy. No one ever thought that was actually going to be a good idea. Well, I can't say no one because you actually really like the move. So, yeah, I mean, again, I don't like the AD move per se. I kind of understand it, but at the same time, like, again, you're trading for a guy who's just not going to be there for you. A guy who, I mean, I'm going to put it into baseball terms for you at this point. Can't hit, can't throw, can't spit chewing tobacco. I mean, can't stay healthy, can't catch a pass, can't do anything. Built the glass. Like, I'm so fucking over Anthony Davis as an NBA player, I should say, not a basketball player, as an NBA player. I'm just so over the situation of this man has missed more games than he's played. Like, can him and Joel Embiid just disappear? Like, I'm so over it. You got these guys who are built of glass. I'm actually just fed up with NBA basketball to begin with at this point. I'm fed up with guys that can't stay healthy. I'm fed up with guys who need load management every fucking 3 games. I'm fed up with. I just. If you're getting paid this much money, it's an 82 game season. And if you're lucky enough to make the playoffs, it's 100 and. What? Every game goes to a 7-game series. 115 games, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're off for months to rehab your body and then get back into the swing of things. Play the fucking game. And if you can't play the game, don't bother fucking showing up. I can't. I can't. Imagine. Like, this is my example. When Anthony Richardson had to come out of the game because he was tired when he was the quarterback for the Colts. Imagine if we treated the NBA like we treat the NFL. Imagine if players needed load management because the game's too hard. Imagine if players had to sit weeks because they were tired, or they had a little bruise, or I'm over this shit. Play the fucking game. If you can't, don't show up. And I really wish teams would get smarter and stop going after these guys that can't play. If you have not, this should be a big thing. I want this actually to be a rule implemented for the league, and I think teams should start implementing the rule. If you do not play half the games in the year, you should be subject to monetary penalty. You should have to give part of your contract back to your franchise to use for a player that can actually fucking play. I'm over this at this point. If you have a season-ending injury, something crazy like that, sure. But if you, I hurt my ankle, I'm out for 2 to 4 weeks, and I come back, and then I re-hurt my ankle, I'm out 2 to 4 weeks, and I come back and I have another injury, and I'm out for. No, that just means you can't stay healthy and you're not taking care of your body. That's just what that means. You're fragile. If you tear your Achilles or you have an ACL or this or you break something and you have to miss significant time, that's fine. But if you're just continuously on the IR multiple times in a season, you should have to forfeit some of the capital that you're getting paid to play this game because these guys are already over fucking paid. We know this. Yes, Anthony Davis, I'm looking at you. Yes, Cleveland Cavaliers, all of you fucking load management motherfuckers, I'm looking at you. I'm over it. I'm over it. Play the fucking game or don't play the fucking game. You got guys, as much as I want to give this guy shit all the time, you got guys like Jason Tatum who would kill to be back on the court. You got guys like Tyrese Halliburton who would kill to be back on the court. You got Kyrie Irving who would probably kill to be back on the court. These guys have injuries that they can't play through. Anthony Davis has a boo-boo on his finger and now he can't play. Fuck you. Like, I can't. I really can't. Play the damn game or don't play the game. Give your money back so they can find a guy to do your job since you can't. Rant over.
So, next team I want to talk about, funny enough. I was going through it off screen with you a little bit earlier, and I find this very, very funny. The Charlotte Hornets have surprised a lot of people, and they have beaten a lot of these better teams in the past week or two. And to be honest with you, I think they could make a play-in. I think that
but somehow, some way, somewhere, somebody talked about them wanting to trade their most valuable player. Yes, I said it. He is their most valuable player. How much weight does he carry? You could fill in the bubble for the people. He carries all the weight. He's the only man consistently playing both sides of the ball and still getting his. We always joke that, he's a highlight merchant, he's a this, he's a that, because the announcer hypes his name up so damn much. It's still my favorite thing to hear in NBA basketball. I don't care what anybody says. But Miles Bridges is the heart and soul of this team. You trade him, we talked about earlier about how if they move on from LaMelo Ball, we talked about this in weeks past, if they move on from LaMelo Ball, they're accepting mediocrity. If you trade or lose Miles Bridges right now, you're accepting mediocrity. This man is the heart and soul of this team. This man is the bridge between the veterans and the young guys who gets to put it all together. He's a phenomenal mentor to have for Con Knipple because he can teach him exactly how to play the opposite of him to work himself open off ball and do things that he can't do. That he is a perfect glue piece for this team. He's the heart and soul, and in my opinion, is the most valuable player to the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. And I think what will eventually happen, to be honest with you, I think Atlanta skids. I think Chicago just completely falls off.
They already
Milwaukee, even more than they actually are.
Let's see here. Realistically, let me look at it. I want to see where I can see them jumping to. You can keep talking.
I think that they could be a 10th seed. I think Milwaukee gets to the 9th seed and Charlotte gets to the 10th seed. I have the standings right now. Atlanta's 20-22, Chicago's 18-21, Milwaukee's 17. Yes, Milwaukee's 17-23, and Charlotte is 14-16. But their strength of schedule might hinder them. But it's so funny. No, yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Fuck that, because even in the schedule that they've played, they're only a minus 0.6. They're literally the equivalent of the Los Angeles Lakers, who we all think are fraudulent. So I think the Hornets could definitely be a play-in team.
I think they're better than the play-in team. I'll raise you one on that one. I think the Sixers are fraudulent. we gave Tyrese Maxey all the glaze we could, but as long as Embiid is there and running the show, they will not be a good team. This could just be me. They're 7 games off of where I think they'll finish the year. I think this team is good enough to be in the same conversation that the Miami Heat and Cleveland Cavaliers are in right now, especially with the way that those two teams are playing. Yes, the Heat beat my Suns tonight. That was because Booker got injured and Dylan Brooks. He decided to play basketball terrorist tonight. Good for you, Dylan Brooks. Thank you for getting your second tech and giving them free throws with 11 seconds left to make it a 3-possession game. Love you for that. Really, really just needle moving for that. After we've just continued to show that we're literally the best third quarter team in basketball by erasing a 17-point lead just to get it all the way back to a 0-0 fourth quarter, just for you to get your second tech on some bullshit because you decided to Dylan Brooks it like you were playing LeBron instead of, playing the Miami Heat.
Get on with it.
It's just I really have a firm belief that this team, looking at it, they're in the 12th seed. The Hornets are better than the Bucks, better than the Bulls, better than the Hawks, comparable to the Heat, Cavs, and Magic. I think the Sixers slide. I think that ceiling for them right now is 7 seed. I think floor for them would be, like you said, play-in. I think this team is a lot better than they've shown so far. I think that things are starting to click in the correct way. Whether they want to make a move or not, if they're going to make this move, I'm actually at the point of move on from LaMelo Ball. I think you need someone to structure the offense a little better. I think that if they had LaMelo has the appeal because he's not a traditional point guard. He's a 6'6", 6'7" guy. He's relatively tall for the position. I actually think this team would flow a little better if they ran a small ball lineup, if they had a true point guard. I would like to see LaMelo Ball become a 2 and learn to play off-ball basketball. I'd like to see Khan at the 3, Miles at the 4, and continue to run with... Who the fuck is their starting 5 right now?
It's Diabate.
They got Diabate, and then they have... what's his face? Yeah, Kalkbrenner off the bench. I think that this team could severely benefit from having an actual true facilitator point guard, and I think if LaMelo could learn to play off-ball with Con Knipple, Miles Bridges, and their true center, I think this team would actually be in a way better position than anyone thinks.
So, I'll push back a little bit. I don't think the Sixers are going to be the ones that skid. I think Orlando is going to be the ones that skid. I think that's fine.
And you know what? I'll double down on it. Let the Celtics make this stupid fucking trade and let them slide out of it too.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. From my end, I think Orlando skids. I think the Cavs get significantly better. I think the Heat stay around the 7-8 spot. I think Atlanta and Chicago both skid. Milwaukee and Charlotte can go up. So at the end of the year in the play-in would be Orlando, it would be Miami, it would be Milwaukee and Charlotte. And you were talking about...
We know Miami is one roster move away from fucking being a top 3 team in the East, and they don't even have to trade anybody to do it. It's crazy.
Right. But my thing with this Eastern play-in is you talked about like LaMelo playing off-ball, and to be honest with you, he has, and we talked about this a little bit before, and to be honest with you, he's even come off the bench and still giving them very valuable minutes. I do think that LaMelo is finally sold on this team. Then one name that you didn't mention in that starting 5, this hypothetical starting 5 you had, who I think they need to fucking move on from, is Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller.
That actually holds some trade value.
Yes, and I liked Brandon Miller coming out, but his shot diet is arguably fucking worse than Jason Tatum's. I think significantly worse. We talk about MPJ chucking. Brandon Miller chucks more than fucking MPJ, and that's saying something. Jesus fucking Christ, Brandon Miller. I think if you go and trade Brandon Miller for an Emmanuel Quickley, or get Colin Sexton more minutes, or get a Keon Ellis. There's a lot of different things that Charlotte can definitively do to bring this team up a little bit and be a legitimate playing team. I like Charlotte going in, and there's at 2 or 3 different tweaks to where for the long run, I think that this could work. I do think that Khan and LaMelo can coexist way better than a Miller and a Ball can. And I do think if they get Kalkbrenner back, that the defense would look a lot better. Miles Bridges is a tenacious rebounder. He plays well above his height. They need to keep Miles. They need to get rid of Brandon Miller, and they need to do it now. Even get like an MPJ. Like, talk about like shot chucking. At least MPJ will shot chuck, but at least he's a fucking efficient at it. You know what I mean? The spacing is there.
I just play the dangerous game because I just shout out a random team I want him to go to every time. Can they get Laurie? Like why
right.
not?
Why the fuck not? I'm totally with that. I just like watching a lot of these Hornets games, specifically against these better teams. Yep. The Hornets have really, really impressed me. They put up 135 against the OKC Thunder. Granted, they didn't have Hartenstein. I understand, but they still shot. Yeah, they shot the hell out of the ball, and they were making them. They put 150 up against the Jazz. I know the Jazz are the worst defense in there. I don't care. This volume offense that this has the ceiling to be is definitely there. And like you said, if they can get a legitimate point guard, like I said, to like just up Colin Sexton's minutes, maybe get it quickly, maybe get a Keon Ellis, move LaMelo to the 2, get Con at the 3, Miles at the 4, and either a Diabate or Kalkbrenner at the 5. That's a well-spaced lineup to where I can be a good playing team and then go get depth pieces for the future, and now you're not a fucking playing team anymore. I'm sorry. Like,
we just think about how scary this team would be if they didn't let Mark Williams go.
That's what I was about to say too. They had Mark Williams. He was playing AD amount of games in 42 games a year, and now they're basically in the same situation with this rookie Kalkbrenner. So, and it's funny because you were talking about GMing. Michael Jordan, you were the fucking owner of this team. You weren't able to fucking realize what we could realize within 15 minutes. It's very fucking weird. So, that's my thing.
It's funny how that works. Like I said,
it's funny how that works.
We don't know ball, and Michael Jordan's the GOAT. So
we don't know ball.
Michael Jordan put ball through hoop. Let me focus on everything else.
I guess the other team that I wanted to, I guess you can kind of pair them up. I guess because we haven't talked about them this whole year, but I do want to show at least some love to some of the bottom feeder teams. Just pair them up all together.
Thank God you said bottom feeder. I thought you were going to talk about my team.
No. Indiana.
No.
New Orleans. No. Sacramento.
No.
I want to say this. It's very funny that Sacramento is on tied their longest winning streak of this year with 2 games, and they just beat Houston and they just beat LA. Significantly better teams. And DeMar DeRozan, you were talking about go retirement home. Go tell him shooting fucking 15 of 19 from the field and 0 threes. 0 threes. Mr. Mid-range himself.
He's not Sean Livingston.
You're right. He's better.
No, he's not.
He's better.
No, he's not.
The Kings fans, obviously, all three of you, I do think that the Kings are the worst franchise in the NBA, and I'm sorry for that. But I do think there could be some light at the end of the tunnel if your guys are able to get specifically Darren Peterson. I think Darren Peterson would move Sacramento a lot, and he would be able to do something around him. But again, it's Sacramento. Sorry for that, so I don't really know. But shout out to Sacramento for the win streak, quote unquote, that you guys have had. I wanted to shout that out really quickly. Indiana, talking about win streaks. Your guys on a 3-game win streak. And you finally got Rick Carlisle his deserved 1,000th win after waiting basically a full year. The last game that they won was in somewhere December of last year. But Indiana has looked decent. Andrew Nimhard has looked like the past several games has stepped up a lot to where I had him as the most improved player, and he's finally showing that he's capable of running that offense. Siakam, I think, is going to be an all-star. And the Pacers are doing well enough to where they should be a little bit better than their record. I don't care about the Tyrese Halliburton kind of narratives. I think Nimhard should be perfectly good in the future, and they should be winning a lot more games, hopefully the second half of the year. No is crazy.
That's all. No. This team, no. I'm firmly on the side of the Tyrese Halliburton is this, if anything, this should just tell everybody how much of a needle mover Tyrese Halliburton is. This just shouldn't put even into question when we want to compare him to top guards in the East, how he might very well be the best guard in the East. Because he can take a team that only has 9 wins without him and take him to a fucking finals. So I'm not playing this game. You want to talk about these teams. I want to talk about the biggest question mark and probably the team that you and Retro overhyped and overrated and over this and over that to start the year. Where the fuck are the Portland Trailblazers?
They're exactly where I had them.
No, you had them being a better team than this. You had them jumping out.
Them as a 10th seed.
No, you had them higher to start the year. And Retro definitely.
I had them as a 10th seed.
This team, they won't be a 10th seed. This team is not good enough to hang on to where they're at. I'm sorry. I think that by the time all is said and done with this, I think that the Grizzlies might jump them, which is insane to say because I think that they won't end up making a move for Ja because I think they'll overvalue Ja, and it won't happen. I think the Clippers are going to catch them clean because, well, I don't know what the hell Kawhi Leonard is eating for breakfast, but that man is something else. Unless these 4 teams below them make like some drastic move to say, okay, we're done for the year, I think that all 4 teams might be able to jump them.
No. I don't know how you're banking on a Ja and Jaren Jackson-less Memphis Grizzlies, a hurt, no knees Kawhi Leonard.
I don't think
a AD-less Mavs.
I don't think they're gonna make a move. I really don't think Memphis actually makes a move. I think they're gonna overvalue Ja. I think after seeing the Trae Young thing, they're gonna be like, no, they got fleeced. We got to get way more for Ja because they're gonna overvalue him over Trae Young. I really don't see him. I don't see it unless they get an absolute haul for Ja Morant because they're gonna overvalue him because he's their franchise player. Memphis doesn't have anything else. They're not going to be able to put asses in seats.
I can give you that, but they have. I would even with Drew Holiday coming back, like you have Drew, you have Scoot who hasn't even played a game, you have Denny, you have Klingon, you have Jeremy Grant. Like this team is just decisively better.
My thing behind it is if they don't trade Ja, and if the Celtics do make this dumbass trade for Triple J, Memphis automatically just got better.
I mean, who would be the guy there? What, you moved by Jalen Wells?
No, I'm just talking about in general. Their defense gets better. Ja's gonna score. Ja's gonna do Ja things. Like that's what it is, and it's gonna create more openings for other people. That's what I'm saying. Is it's gonna be if like we said, Jordan Walsh will probably be the head of this trade. Jordan Walsh continues to play like Jordan Walsh is playing. It's gonna be like Jaren Jackson wasn't even there.
I understand, but then their offense just like completely falls off a cliff. So that was my question. Like, who's the spearhead of the offense?
Ja Morant.
Okay, and then like who else? Because then Portland has Tamari Kamara who can shut him down.
It's like I said, it's ifs. It's ifs these trades don't happen. That's just what I'm saying.
I understand. I just heavily disagree because I had Portland as a playing team, and this team is it's just because it's in the West. That's why they can't be any better. This team is younger than Memphis. They're way more tenacious, and the only thing that I think is holding them back is no offense to Thiago Splitter, he's not the voice of what they need going into the future. I think that if they can go get a head coach, hey Mike Malone, how are you doing? Go hire him.
I still can't believe he doesn't have a job.
I just think that like the 7th, 8th, 9th seed in the West are just so decisive because I love Kawhi, I love James Harden. I just don't think that's going to happen. It's inevitable. The Kawhi cycle is always inevitable. Dallas,
or if Harden gets moved.
Exactly. Dallas, we talked about them. It's good. AD's probably moved. Kyrie's probably going to get moved, and Utah is just not healthy enough to where they can get to that. So if Memphis is going to just overvalue Ja and not get anything from him, I mean, cool, but
I'm saying this 4-game gap for these teams, the 4 games between Utah and Portland really isn't that big of a swing, and it's like I said, it's the NBA. You never know.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I just like, to me, I think Portland is just decisively like it's the bottom of the better teams in the West. There's that fine line, and I think everybody else is just below that line. I just think that's where they decisively have it. I guess the last team that I do want to talk about that's funny, another bottom feeder team, even though they're lost 2 straight, is the Pelicans. And it was funny because you're talking about Wemby coming off the bench and being impactful. Well, how the hell is Zion getting 20 minutes a night and giving you like 37 and 5? Trey Murphy dropping 42. Herb Jones giving you elite defense. Jeremiah Fears loves the number 21 because there's been 7 times this year that he scored 21. They're getting DeJounte Murray back. Like, this is where I was saying a little bit before that they should be selling, but at the same time, when this lineup is healthy, this is a good lineup. That is a good starting 5 at minimum. You have Derek Queen. Like, it's weird for the Pelicans. Again, I don't think Joe Dumars should have a fucking job, but the Pelicans are, on paper, a decent squad.
Yeah, but you're playing in an arena called Smoothie King, so I mean, you might as well put your whole season in a blender already.
That's crazy.
I mean, you're right. Like I said, on paper, they have a great squad, and they blow up once a month and look really good, and then all of a sudden it's like, cool, you played great for 2 games in 4 weeks. Congratulations. You played 17 games this month. Like,
yeah.
Congratulations, you went 2-15. Like, you still suck, but like for 2 games, you look like you can be contenders. Like, it's such a clear bottom 6, and then everybody else. Like, it's such a clear bottom 6.
I agree. I just wanted to shout them out. That's all.
Yeah, you've been hyping them and hyping them and hyping them. More so, you're hyping them and hyping them and hyping them, as in, please stop playing good so that I can have one of your 2 good players. That's where you're at.
I mean, yes and no. Like, I think DeJounte Murray probably does end up getting moved. I think he's more the realistic guy that goes to Golden State. Even though he hasn't played, I think Golden State would still need a comparable 2 guard that can get downhill and that kind of stuff. People obviously wanting to move Zion because of his health and his BBL addiction. Like, there's a decent amount of stuff that is why I'm so adamant about New Orleans. You have all this assets. Why don't you do what OKC did and go and get all these first round picks for the future so you're now set up for your future? It's, to me, that's why it doesn't make sense. That's why I've been so adamant about saying fuck Joe Dumars.
Well, again, when you squander a good thing, we'll see how long he actually has a job for. So
I agree. But that was all from me. I don't know if you did anything 4. I
I
picked 3
did.
for
You can
5.
play it. You can play it all by yourself.
Oh, no retro holding me back. I love this.
Yeah, no fight back. It's actually 2 of them are actually ones that I think are better you do on your own because it's a 2 top 10 lists where I need you to just fill in the blanks.
Okay.
So the first one up is top 10 power forwards by points per game in the 2010s.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I want to see, can you name the top 10 power forwards from the 2010s?
Just specifically like from 2010 to 2019.
I believe that's what the list is.
Okay. I'm assuming Anthony Davis is here.
Anthony Davis is 10.
Okay. What about Dirk?
Dirk is 3.
What about Powell?
Pau is 9.
Trying to think of other good ones. I want to throw Giannis out, but I don't think he'll be here. I don't think he'll qualify.
He is not qualified.
Okay. I'll throw out Tim Duncan. I don't think he'll qualify.
He did not qualify.
Okay. Scoring power forward. Chris Bosh.
Not on the list.
I'm not surprised. Chris Bosh is a fucking trash can. 2010. Oh, Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin, number 2.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Number 1.
Goat. Shout out LaMarcus. I don't think he'll qualify. Amari Stoudemire.
Nope. You have 4 through 8 left.
Trying to think of high scoring power forwards during the time period.
There's 2, potentially 3 I think you'll get. The other 2 might be interesting.
I'm trying to think of forwards during the time period. Because he technically moved in the 4 during this time. I want to say both. I'll say both. Braun and KD.
No.
Okay. Probably not enough qualifiers.
These are full classified power forwards.
Fully classified power forwards. Okay. Interesting. Bosch is not here. Who's scoring a lot of points?
Somebody very comparable to him though is bona fide number 1 on his team, gets traded, no longer a first option.
Karl Anthony Towns?
Nope.
Do you classify for?
You're very warm though.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love at number 7.
Okay. Interesting. Who is getting bucket? David Lee here?
David Lee's not here, but there's somebody just as nasty on this list.
Okay. Just as nasty as David Lee.
Yeah, basically a point getter on just a nobody team.
Kind of thing.
Number 8 played for OKC.
Serge
Ibaka, number 8.
That's fucking gross. He's top 10 in the 2010s? Jesus.
That's what the list said.
This is why the 2010s are like the worst big man era ever.
Yep.
Jesus fuck.
I'm just gonna... Yeah, well, if that's how you feel, you're not gonna like the next list.
Okay, you said OKC.
Number 4 was an Atlanta Hawk.
Josh Smith.
The other guy?
Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap.
He's number 4 Fuck me, dude.
You have 5 and 6 left. One of
Okay.
them is very understandable. The other one took me back.
Okay.
Um,
I haven't said his name. I want to say KG.
nope.
Okay.
One's a big boy that looked like he liked to eat. Left-handed power forward.
Oh, Zach Randolph.
Yep, number 6. Now, number 5. I don't think you're gonna get.
Where would I know him from?
I'm pulling it right now just to make sure. That's how bad that is. He did at one point play for your San Antonio Spurs.
For a time period?
And his last season was the 23-24 season where he split time with Toronto and Phoenix.
I know.
Drafted in 2007?
07. Was he a lotto pick?
Drafted 12th overall to the Philadelphia 76ers.
What?
That's right.
Ew.
It's
Wait,
none of
Wait, don't even tell me. Don't even tell me. I'm trying to think of like the 07 draft because that's the Odin KD draft, right?
I believe
Who
so.
else was there? It was KD. Horford was in that draft. Ew! Is it Thad Young?
Yeah.
That's fucking disgusting. You know what's funny? Being from Philly, whenever Philly, like, we would be playing 2K and, like, a buddy's thing, they would go to get Thad Young, and he would get, like, 30, 10, and 6. And I'm like, why the fuck is Thad Young doing this?
That's how me and my buddies were with Rudy Gay and OJ Mayo.
Oh, Rudy Gay's 2K legend. Shout out to Rudy Gay.
Well, Jules, if you didn't like that list, top 10 centers by points per games in the 2010s.
Oh, ripping is wait, 20 what? So DeMarcus Cousins,
number 1.
I want to say, is Andrea Bargnani here?
No.
Oh wow, fuck. Centers in the 2010s. This is so
This
gross.
list is actually way more believable, except for maybe one guy.
Marc Gasol.
Marc Gasol, number 4.
Okay. Trying to think of other. Like...
You said one of these guys' names already. You guessed him as a power forward, but he's a center.
Anthony, Giannis? Oh, wait.
No.
Chris Bosh?
No.
I guess one of them.
The Atlanta Hawk.
Horford?
Yep. Number 5.
Okay.
There's one name on here I'm actually shocked you just haven't said yet. Because he was arguably the center of the 2010s.
Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard, number 3.
Yeah. Brook Lopez?
Number 2. You have the top 5. This is where nastiness happens.
This is out of, like, respect, but shout out to Retro. I'm gonna guess it. I think it's wrong. Joakim Noah
is not on here.
Okay. Al Jefferson.
Al Jefferson, number 6.
Yep.
Funny enough, you said Joakim Noah, but the guy number 7 is Al Jefferson. Sorry. Number 6 is the guy who now plays Joakim Noah's position.
Oh, Vooch.
Vooch is 6. So now you need 8, 9, and 10. Have fun.
Okay.
Two of them you should get. One of them probably not.
Two of them I should get.
Two of them you should get because I think technically one is still active.
One is still active. Steven Adams.
Nope.
Trying to think of older centers.
The fact that this one is still active is strictly because he's a big. And he's very athletic.
And he's very athletic? Like currently?
Very. Huh?
Like currently athletic?
I mean, technically I would still say he's athletic. This man was known for catching body after body after body.
DeAndre Jordan?
Number 10.
Okay. Oh, I see. Because he signed with the fucking Pelicans. That's why. Okay.
9 is the one I think you'll get. 8 kind of shocked me.
Okay.
Number 9, the one I think you'll get, I'm just going to give you the hint on, is it's Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. Rebounds? Oh, Andre Drummond.
Andre Drummond, number 9.
Yeah. And then 8, I want to... Okay. So...
This one is bag work. That's all I got to say.
What team would I know him from?
Journeyman Merchant. That's all I'm going to say.
Journeyman Merchant.
Played for a good amount of teams. I'll tell you, he's a foreign player.
A foreign player. The Journeyman Merchant. Kristaps?
Nope. Wait, nope. Old. I think he's old at this time.
And he's currently playing?
I don't think he's currently playing anymore. In fact, I think he has been. I think he's probably been out of the league for at least 5 years.
Okay.
I would assume he's been out 5 years. Let me go find what his last active year was. Yeah, he's 41, and his last active year was 18-19 for the Clippers. But he's played for the Clippers, the Magic, I believe the Nuggets, the Wizards, the Suns. Yeah, a lot of teams.
Wait, is this Greg Monroe?
Nope, foreign.
Oh, you said foreign. Duh.
Foreign. Yeah.
Fuck.
He is currently an assistant coach for a team in the league. He's played for the Suns, the Magic, the Wizards, and the Clippers.
Interesting. Wait. Hold on. You said 19. Oh,
He's 41 years of age, turning 42 in February.
That's gross.
Yep.
Oh!
Drafted in 2005.
Gortat!
It is Marcin Gortat at 8.
Gortat! Oh my god.
Nasty.
You should have just said fucking screams. That would have been a little bit better of a hit.
Old school Steven Adams.
Old school, yeah, literally the Gortat screen.
All right, this last one you get to do a pick 3, cut 5 all by yourself.
W.
Two-way wings.
You said who? I'm sorry.
Two-way wings.
Two-way wings. Currently or on top?
All active.
All active. Okay.
First guy up's Dylan Brooks.
I'm sorry, Justin. I'm cutting you.
That's fine. Tumani Kamara.
Ooh.
There's no way you ooh that after cutting Dylan Brooks.
No, because I looked at. It's funny enough. I actually looked at like Kamara's like advanced stats today, and I think he's fallen off a cliff. So I'd cut him. Yeah.
My nail was fucking killing me. I had to pull it off. Mikal Bridges.
Ooh. I don't even think he's the best two-way on his team, so I would cut him.
Okay. Jaden McDaniels.
That's a keep.
Okay. Andrew Wiggins.
I'm gonna cut Andrew.
Okay. Asar Thompson.
Asar, I will keep.
All right. One keep left. 2 names to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Dyson Daniels.
See, I think he's a one-way player because I think he just
so
plays fucking defense.
It's so much better for you and so much worse for me that Retro's not here.
See, I can put so I will put this out in the space currently because I'm not watching the Lakers game, so I don't know. He has not made a single three in a month. Dyson Daniels literally just plays defense. So I would say cut because if we're talking about two-way, he gives you nothing offensive.
Well, the last guy's the best two-way player in basketball, in my opinion. So you want to guess who it is? He also happened to be the last name on the list last week.
What? Who? Brown?
OG Anunoby.
OG, yeah. Again, like I said, I think he's the better two-way out of him and Mikal. So I'm happy that you put him. Funny enough,
you could have picked both. I'm okay with it.
Funny enough, I'm not gonna not say that you didn't put Amen Thompson here because you want to put Asar, push that agenda.
I think Asar's a better two-way. I think Amen's just got booms.
That's fair.
I think Asar might actually be a better shooter.
Probably.
What do I got here? Is there anything good here?
Probably not. You said that MJ won on the football podcast.
Well, that was yesterday. Today is today.
I know.
Perfect. And before Juelz cancels me on the podcast, at time of recording, it's January 14th.
What?
January 14th, 2023. Brock Purdy wins his first playoff game as a rookie quarterback against the Seattle Seahawks.
Fuck Brock Purdy.
Dude, there's so many fucking All-Star Game ones that just don't have relevance. It's just All-Star Game played this day and da-da-da-da. And just, there was one that said Charles Barkley pleads not guilty to an assault charge.
I'm moved by that.
We're moved by that. He only assaults people on the floor. Shout out the only MVP to lead the league in technical fouls. Still the most awesome stat in NBA history. Way better than Tony Snell's statless game. The fact that you were an MVP that led the league in technical fouls is just awesome to me.
I agree. Shout out to him and shout out to his anger management.
For the fans, before Juelz outros this thing, if you like us just doing this, we can gladly get rid of that third leg of dead weight. Because all he does is try and push Bulls agendas and say that Josh Giddey's a top 5 guard. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, the Bulls haven't been relevant since Derrick Rose tore his ACL. So, that's really, I think, all we got. Take us home.
Yeah, guys, that was We Don't Know Ball. Please, if you've made it through this part of the podcast, please sub. Please like and share our content. And I'll repeat it, like I said in the football podcast yesterday, push Justin to push his own stuff so he can post and you guys can actually hear his takes on his individual platform. Again, this was a basketball podcast. If we don't know ball, I'm Juelz. This is Justin, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.